This video is by Straight Goods News. SGNews.ca.
I was particularly concerned when he suggested that the response times and the availability posture of search and rescue in Canada was determined by the equipment they had, not by the need itself. That's something that I discovered myself a couple of years ago in a report. I'm glad to see that the Auditor General has verified that. But what that means is that we're setting our response times and our capability based on the equipment we have, not based on the needs that exist. This perhaps explains why we're looking at a 2-hour response time after 4 o'clock in the day and on the weekends when 83% of the calls occur. We don't have that in the US, we don't have that in Australia, we don't have that in the UK. Why do we have it in Canada? Well, this may be the answer. So I think we need to focus on that, and we need to get some more elaboration on it. I think the Defence Committee is a good place to do that. The Auditor General has done a very elaborate study, and I think we should explore it. It's something that I've been made a priority of mine since I came to the Commons in 2008. It's particularly important in my province where we have a large number of fishermen and people working in the offshore. It's important obviously on the Great Lakes and the West Coast as well. It hasn't gotten the attention it deserves, and the government hasn't given it a proper priority. We think that this is an opportunity to raise that as the profile of the needs of search and rescue, and hopefully get more resources devoted to it. That seems to be where the problem lies. There's inadequate personnel, both in pilots and navigators. There's not enough crews for the helicopters that we have. We don't have enough helicopters. There's a whole series of problems been identified and in one package. I think the Auditor General can help raise that profile, and hopefully we'll get some response from the government. We've been committed as a party to giving a higher priority within the National Defence budget to search and rescue. It's an important part of Canada's requirement to defend Canada and protect Canadians. Protection of Canadians to search and rescue should be given more priority than it is.
What in your estimation is the problem in getting fixed wing search and rescue planes onto the flight?
Boy, oh boy, I mean, this has been going on since 2002. We've had a delay since this government has come into power from delivery of 2007 to 2017. Part of the problem is, as has been identified, that the Department of Defence, or they appeared to choose a particular plane as opposed to establish the need. The National Research Council pointed that out in a very elaborate report. That's caused delays. There are more delays. The overall thing is the lack of a plan. I mean, the Auditor General said that the mandate of the Search and Rescue Secretariat since 1986 was to establish a clear plan for search and rescue. It does come from the failure of political will of both Conservative and previous Liberal governments in giving it the priority that it deserves. If you put the political will into developing a plan, you'll see the problems. You'll see the problems, for example, that we had in Labrador. Just last year, the boy who was lost in Macomb. There was a lack of coordination between what the province was doing and what the ground search was doing. There was an uncertainty as to how many. We had no helicopters available from 444 Wing Squadron in Goose Bay. They weren't available because one was gone, one was in they just weren't available. They claimed that there was no standby obligation there, even though that's what the website said. I mean, all of these things come from a lack of priority, a lack of giving it the top kind of priority that it needs, and the resources that it needs. We've got Griffins being used in Trenton for temporarily since 2007. All of these things are evidence of a failure to give it the priority that it deserves, and that's been going on for